Hey guys, so today we're going to do a review of our 2017 Hobie Mirage Oasis. Just kind of going to do a walkthrough of the whole thing, talk about its features. So one of the biggest features of the Hobie kayaks, at least of the Mirage models, is the foot pedals, which are called the Mirage Drives. So these right here are going to be used to propel you through the water, so most of the time you don't even have to paddle. So basically, as you kick these, there's fins underneath that propel you through the water, and even when you're not kicking hard, you're going to go pretty quickly through the water with these. They're very effective. So all you got to do to put the Mirage Drive in or take it out is just make sure these tabs are forward right now to put them in. This would be in the back position. That's when you're going to take it out of the boat. When you're putting it in, make sure it's forward. Now it's locked. Even if you pull up on this pretty hard, or if you flip over, it's not going anywhere. To take it out, you just flip these back and it pulls straight out. A great feature about them is that they are adjustable in length, so depending on how long or how short your legs are, you can adjust it. As you can see right here, you got several different numbers. Just pinch this grip, slide it back or forward, and that'll adjust the distance on them. And new thing on the 2017 models, which we have found to be extremely handy, is these ones have both forward and reverse. So if you see here, there's two different tabs. Green one says forward, red says reverse. Basically how you're going to tell which gear you're in. Right now we're in forward. The green tab, if you follow it down, has some slack right here. The red tab is taut, so whichever one you pull is going to have the slack. So now we're in reverse. Now we're in forward. We're going to check from the bottom side here. So right now we're in reverse. Now we're in forward. And that's all it is. Easy as that. I have found that it can be a little difficult to get it into reverse or forward if your feet are in the pedals for some reason. I think it gives it some resistance, so usually I just push the pedals and pull my feet out of them, then I yank on the cord and it goes right away. So another feature for the foot pedals is it has this leash here. So if you are drifting over shallow areas and you don't want to have to worry about your fins scraping, but you do want to leave them under the water, all you have to do is attach this here, and then it's just going to hold your fins in an elevated position. That way you don't have to worry about them scraping on the reef or anything like that. So we always recommend having a leash for these. It doesn't come with, but you got to buy it separate, but I highly recommend it. It clips onto the front, and then here, just attach it right here, and now it's leashed to the boat. You don't have to worry about it when it's in, because it's in there really secure, but let's say you're out paddling around and you got it up in the boat because you're about to beach or something like that, and you don't want them to scrape under the boat, so you take your paddle or your fins out, and then you get hit by a wave and you flip. You won't lose these if they're leashed. Several people, we have heard of people losing them in the surf. Not good. These things are pretty expensive, so you definitely don't want to lose these. Of course, the front and back have the Mirage Drive. Here it is in the back, and there's one in the front. So one of the great things about this is even if you got it fully loaded with gear, you got two people in this boat, one person kicking can easily propel you. You don't need both people paddling to go anywhere. And then next up, front and back seats have rudder control, which is right here. So that's going to be pretty much straight. That's pretty much hard right, and that's hard left. So another great thing is the rudder. Rudder control is both in the front and the back. To drop the rudder down, you got a pull tab right over here. It says down on it. You got another one over here that says up. So either person, front or back, can control it. All you do, pull the rudder down. Make sure you leash it right up here. If you don't leash it and you're out there paddling around and you try to do like a hard left, the pressure of the water is going to push that rudder right back up, and you're just kind of going to spin in circles. So we found that out the hard way on day one, but just always plug it or leash it, cleat it. Once you're coming back in, make sure you pull this back up and use the up tab here to pull that rudder back up so you don't scrape when you're coming back in. Alright, so we're just going to go to casual pace here. We're still moving pretty well. Going at a good speed. And then if we want to get some speed up, maybe we're in a rush to get somewhere, we can pedal pretty hard. Some serious speed going. You can see by the wake behind us. And of course, if you need to back up for some reason, just go in reverse, pull the red tab, start pedaling. And we're going backwards. All right, and then this rudder right here, that's pretty much straight. But let's say we want to take a hard turn. You don't usually need to take really hard turns, but if you do need to, this thing can turn on a dime. So we're going to go hard left here. And we're pointed right back to shore. One of the next biggest features of this kayak, in our opinion, is the seats. A lot of kayak seats are really uncomfortable in our opinion. That's one of the main reasons we got this kayak. These seats are basically full chairs with frames around the whole thing. They even got lumbar support right there. You twist this knob to release it, you pull out and just undo it, push it back in. This lever here controls the angle of the back. So if you pull on that while applying pressure, you can tilt the seat further back. And then this seat you can also angle. You can put the whole seat up or down, or you can have the back up and the front down, or vice versa. Basically it's got these two components right here. It's got a gray strap, and then it's also got a pull tab over here on the right. And depending on what you want to do, so if you pull a gray gray strap, it lifts the front end of the seat up. And then if you pull on this tab here, it's going to put up some kickstands in the back here, and they're going to lock onto those little platforms. So then your whole seat is elevated, and this gives a fair amount of space underneath the seat. We try to really utilize this for things like tackle boxes and scoop nets, especially since in a tandem kayak, space is fairly limited. So if your seat is in the fully elevated position and you want to get it down, all you have to do is lift up on the seat, and it'll retract the kickstands, and then it goes in. And then all you do is pull on the gray strap and push down on the front, and the seat's lowered. One very important thing to remember is to leash your seat when you load it in the kayak. That way if you flip, you won't lose it. You definitely don't want to lose these seats. It's got a very easy clip right here. Just clips right on, then you're good to go. So another great feature about these seats is if you want to hang out on the beach or something once you're done kayaking, it's got these little legs underneath it that you can pop out and just use it as a beach chair. So you're just gonna unclip each of these, do that on all four of them. Now you've got a nice beach chair. Just gotta adjust the back so you lean back a little if you want, and you're good to go. Alright, so again we're going to show you out here on the water how you can use these seats. So if you want to recline it, right now Nolan's in the up position, fully elevated. So if he wants to chill out, go full recliner mode, he's going to pull those cleats up that are in the back, tilting the seat up like that, automatically withdraws them. Then he's going to let it down, and now he's in recliner mode, just enjoying life. Alright, so now if Nolan wants the whole seat lowered, he's just going to lower the front part of the seat. So he's going to slide forward off of the seat. He's going to reach back, pull the gray tab, and he's going to push down on the front of the seat. Now it's lowered. He's going to sit back down. Now his chair is flat, but he's in a lower position. This is a little more stable, but it doesn't give you that storage space underneath the kayak, or underneath your seat rather. I like to be in the elevated position. You got to be a little bit more aware of your balance, but it gives me places to put tackle boxes and nets and such. So now as far as storage, this two-man kayak doesn't have a lot of it, but what it does have has a compartment up here at the front, these bungee cords securing it. So you just unlatch these bungees, lift up this compartment, and you got a fair amount of storage space in here. Next up, we got two hatches, one in front of each seat, actually three hatches, but two in front of each seat. So all you gotta do to open it is just turn the handle here, flip that up, turn it, pop it open, and you got access to inside the boat. We have a couple buckets that we bought for it that fit perfectly in there, and we store our bait in there. But you can also use this area to put dry bags or whatever you need in there. And then of course, same thing, back seat has one as well. And then the last one's all the way in the back here. Now, this one is too far back to really do any good while you're out on the water, but we use this one to store a dry bag with our phone and keys and wallets and things like that. Just things we don't need to access while we're out on the boat, but something we do want to have safe and have with us. Then in this general storage compartment area here, we put a Hobie cooler bag to put our fish in and put snacks in, things like that. It does also have these little storage net areas here, one on each side for the front and the back. That way you can store things, gloves, knives, trash, whatever you need. I got a couple cup holders, one on each side, front and back. The boat does come with two sets of paddles, so even though you're not going to use them most of the time, I always recommend taking them with you just in case something happens to the Mirage Drive, or if you're in too shallow water for the drive. So the stores here right along the side. It's got a little cutout here that it kind of fits right into. It's got a bungee cord here that you just leash onto there, keeps it right in place. We also put a leash that we actually hook onto something else just to make sure it doesn't get away from us if we're using it and something happens. One for each side. Again, I always recommend having your paddles with you. It also has two very nice, very comfortable handles on each side of the kayak, with a little cutout here for your hand to fit right into, and that makes loading it on and off your car or truck very easy with two people. Basically just grab it, flip it, lift it up, and put it right on the car. So this doesn't come with the kayak, but we had it added. I highly recommend something like it. We had these rod holders added here and here, so it's just basically a little ball. This mount they don't actually make anymore, I've been told, but you can get very similar ones for other parts of the boat, and I highly recommend it. So all you got to do to attach it is just unscrew it, make sure it's nice and loose, get it on there, apply a little pressure, snaps right on, and then you just tighten that down to the desired tightness. One thing I do when I'm trolling with this, if you do it this way, it can bend really far down. So what I usually do is I have it facing this direction. That way this right here is about the furthest it's going to go. After that, it's just going to take line. I always want to have your drag pretty loose when you're trolling with these, just because since it is on this ball, theoretically if a big fish hit and you had your drag too tight, it might rip this whole thing right off. The back does come with two rod holders built into the boat, one here and one here. We use these a lot for trolling and such. We're probably going to get some more attachments on the back, maybe like right here or something, just so we can angle it off to the side, since these are fixed, but we've been using these, they work out pretty well. It comes with these rubber plugs, so you can just plug up this hole if you're not using it. The one on this side broke off almost immediately, which is unfortunate, but we don't really use these. These are always unplugged, so it's not a big deal for us. does also come with a spot to put a sail kit if you want it, or possibly another rod holder. We're not planning on sailing with this, we're probably going to put a rod holder here, but you do have that option if you want it. So it does have these plugs for the scupper holes under the seats. We just leave it open because we're in a warm environment, so we just always want that water to rush right back out of that boat, so we just leave that plug unplugged all the time. So our conclusion is this is a fantastic kayak. We highly recommend it to anybody thinking about getting one. It's made our lives a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable while out kayak fishing. As soon as we're done kayaking for the day, we're already thinking about when is the next time we're going out. We really can't get enough of it. Really no complaints about it. It's only things that we think could use improvement, or maybe just a couple minor things. It'd be nice to see a drain plug on the front at the top, just to make draining a little easier. Where the drain plug is at, it's a little difficult to get all the water out, but not a big deal. It'd be nice to see a couple of carrying handles like it has on the sides, on the nose and on the back, just to make carrying it a little easier there as well. It does have some carrying handles, but it'd be nice to see some solid ones that are just not movable, that are attached to the front and back, kind of like on the Pro Angler or something. But like I said, minor things. It's a great kayak. Recommend it to anybody. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please like it, share it, subscribe for more. We'll see you guys next time.